The Antarctic Treaty, which was signed on December 1st, 1959, basically the Antarctic Treaty states that no military personnel or military bases or testing of any weapons or anything can happen on Antarctica. Mm-hmm. And it was a treaty signed by multiple countries. I can't remember exactly how many. It's either 7 or 12. I just can't remember exactly how many. But basically, it's just saying that it's peaceful grounds. Yeah. Like it's like a grounds for nothing, no military bases. Yeah. No testing weapons. Just nothing violent at all.
Or not just leave it alone.
Yeah, just leave Antarctica alone. And that's basically.
And the question is why create a treaty to leave this specific place on Earth? Like, just leave it alone.
Yeah.
Nobody own it. Nobody try to fuck with it. Nobody, just leave it alone. Why do we want these countries? Why do we agreeing to not leave it alone? And again, this is where it gets really interesting, and you can go into put your tinfoil hat on. Hey guys, welcome to the False Line Podcast here with episode 119. Yes, we have done 119 episodes.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because after we
did 100,
we started. So this is like a true number. Yeah,
this is the real number, the real deal. Nice. But anyways, guys, today we're going to talk about Jake Paul and Tommy Furry fight. I'm gonna reply to some haters. We're gonna give some UFC 285 predictions, and we're gonna talk about the phenomenon of Antarctica. So let's get right into it. So we watched the fight. You got to watch it. I got to watch it too. So I want to know, I guess, first of all, that the fight actually finally happened. They were trying to make this fight for the longest.
2.5 years.
And they finally got to make it happen. And I think, Tommy showed that he wasn't ducking Jake Paul. Yeah. He really did have issues and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I know he mentioned that he broke his hand and then he was getting
ribs.
Oh.
Yeah, his ribs, and then he was denied access to America. Yeah.
So that was really, really good it was just really good to see the fight because we've been wanting to watch this fight for a while.
Yeah.
But I'll let you talk about the fight itself and what you thought about it.
I thought it was a great fight. For the build up to it was great. Everything was great. Like, this is one of those boxing matches that, even though they're both pretty big names, I didn't care to watch it because they're names. I mean, I did, but the build up was so great, and they were both I actually got invested into the fight. But I think it's funny, watching Jake, his build up to fights is so funny because he's done the same thing. He did the same thing with Tyron Woodley. I don't know if you saw, but with Tyron, when they had their one of their last face to faces or whatever, he gave Tyron a Rolex.
Yeah.
So with Tommy, he went even a step further and gave him a gift for his baby.
Oh, really?
Did you not see it?
No.
Oh, yeah. So when they had one of their last press conferences, whatever, Jake apologized to him for spoiling the news about his baby being born. And he was like, here, I got you a gift for Bambi, which is his daughter's name. Yeah. And Jake, I don't care what nobody says, that man is a genius. Mm-hmm. Because I don't care how bad the blood was between them. If you gift someone something, like a Rolex for Tyron Woodley, or especially for someone that has a kid, if you get them something for their daughter, they're gonna let their guard down a little bit. They're gonna soften up. They're gonna soften up to you
for sure. So
I think Jake, it was none of anything he does is genuine. I think it's all mind games. Yeah. But anyways, that was. I just wanted to say that because his technique is so.
What did he get his daughter?
Tommy didn't open it.
Oh, okay.
It was just in a box, and Jake was like, "Yeah, that's from a really well-known baby brand name, whatever." Mm-hmm. And Tommy was like, "Thank you. She'll love it, I'm sure." Mm-hmm. But he just kind of set it to the side. He didn't open it. So, but no, the fight was great. I really enjoyed it. I was actually really impressed by Tommy. I was kind of worried about Tommy because I have seen his past fights, and the people he's fought have been god awful. Yeah. Terrible. Mm-hmm. So I really, really wanted Tommy to win, but I wouldn't have been surprised if Jake won. Coming into the fight, I was like, damn, Jake, I actually might take this because Tommy's fought no one. But I feel so bad for Tommy, man, because he's I feel like he was trying to overcome a bully. Yeah. I feel like he was getting bullied the whole time.
Not just that too, but also the pressure of the last name.
Oh yeah, and like the pressure of your family's going to disown you, and they blatantly said
that. Yeah,
like we're going to disown him if he loses to Jake Paul. And Jake Paul, it's fucked up because I don't care who you are, how good of a boxer you are. If you get hit with a heavy right hand, there's no really planning for that. Like you can plan for it, but if it comes, you can get caught.
Just get caught, and that's it.
Yeah. So he was under a lot of pressure, man. And the thing that made me the sickest, and the reason I wanted Tommy to win so bad, is because in their last press conference or whatever, Jake made that bet with him.
Oh yeah.
He was like, "Hey, if you win, I'll double your purse. If you lose, I'll take everything from you.
Yeah.
Like I take the whole purse." Mm-hmm. And of course, Tommy Fury's dad was like, "Oh yeah, we'll do it. Whatever, blah blah blah." But that's so unfair. That's just like that was such a bully tactic, and I hated that for him.
He has done this on, I believe, his last 2 fights or 3 fights where he makes a bet with somebody.
Yeah,
and it's just like, I don't know if it's like a mind thing or maybe he gets aroused by like making bets, and he feels more of like it motivates him. Mm-hmm. I'm not really sure why he wants and likes to make these bets.
I don't know, man, but this one, like,
that was a little too far. Yeah,
it pissed me off a lot because I'm like, dude, he has a newborn baby.
Yeah,
like you're just bullying him with your money at this point. Like you're just saying, hey, I'm rich, you're poor. Yeah. If you can't beat me, then I'm going to take all your money. If Tommy, I guess they accepted the bet. I don't know if they ever signed the contract, but
yeah, supposedly it's unknown. I wouldn't have done it. I was like, bro, shut up.
I'm like, bro, like, it doesn't matter how much confidence I have. Like, if I think I'm going to beat you up, whatever, cool. I can have all the confidence in the world. That doesn't matter. That doesn't mean I'm not going to get caught with your big ass right hand that just will knock anybody out. Like,
and then also too, like he trained for the fight, he prepared for the fight. Mm-hmm. He has to pay his coaches, he has to pay. Yeah. So he has stuff that he has to pay too. Besides like him going into the ring and fighting and winning and performing, he has to pay bills with, he has to pay fees and all that stuff. Yeah, and I was like, he still needs that. He still needs that back. That's why he fights for passion and for the money, I'm sure.
Oh, the money,
like everyone else.
So, and I looked at their net worths. Jake's net worth, which net worths aren't always accurate, but they're Jake's net worth is like 36 million. Mm-hmm. Tommy's is like 1 million. Yeah, I think. So I'm like, dude, like, just let him have it. I'm sure he's doing it partially because he doesn't like you, but also partially for a payday. It's a good payday. Yeah. Like, just let that man have his money. Like, he doesn't have, even though he did win, thank God. And I like Jake Paul.
Yeah,
but I feel like he is becoming too much of a bully, and he's getting a little too big headed, like calling out Canelo and. All these people, and I'm glad Tommy put him I wish he would have knocked him out, but I'm glad he shut that up. But they both Tommy looked better. Well, Jake just had some really big shots.
Yeah, and we'll get more into the details of the fight, but I just want to mention this. But I don't know, like I said, there was a script that was going viral on the internet. Like,
yeah, I hadn't heard about this.
It came out, I think, on Thursday or Friday, where I started seeing it, how, like, the songs that were going to come out to, each round, details, blah, blah, blah. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, this is fake. Because you know how like the NFL script came out?
Yeah.
Like somebody literally made this up.
Yeah, you can go on Wikipedia and put it in,
Yeah, no, they just, probably wrote it up in like fucking Microsoft Word or something.
And then put it on Wikipedia?
Or I don't know.
Because Wikipedia is like for the public. Anybody can put anything on there.
But it got uploaded and it just started trending and stuff like that. And whoever made it is like super smart. Because I was like, you're smart, dude. Scripts right now is like kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Jake Paul fights are known to be rigged, X, Y, and Z. So
what did the script say?
That Jake Paul won the fight at the end. That
by decision?
No, he knocked out Tommy.
Oh, okay.
That's kind of I was like, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Because I was like, and then we'll talk about the fight. I was like, I knew going in that, everyone that Jake Paul has fought is like amateur level boxing.
Yeah.
Literally. And
Anderson Silva's the best for sure.
Yeah.
And he's a boxer.
But. And you can call him like a pro, like really entry level pro. Right, just like Jake Paul.
Anderson Silva?
Yeah.
I would, yeah.
I think Tommy Fury and Jake Paul, they're entry-level pros. Tommy's a little bit more advanced, but you got to see the difference. I got to see the difference. Like, okay, Tommy Fury is like a real pro who has been training majority of his life since, I think he said he was 6 years old.
Yeah.
And he has dedicated his life to being a boxer. Mm-hmm. Jake Paul has not. And that's where you could have seen the... how does it call it? Like, the skill set,
Yeah.
So, but Jake Paul was so predictable, and I think he was so predictable because how how well Tommy Furry was like just standing, and just defending and moving. You kind of just saw everything coming.
Yeah, Jake Paul is. I mean, he's a good boxer. He would beat the shit out of both of us, but he's a one-trick pony.
Yeah,
like the whole time you can tell he was loading.
Yeah,
up
he was
right
just
hand.
trying, and
that's it.
As soon as the first round started, he tried to throw that overhand, and I was like, bro, I'm not a boxer, but I can see that overhand coming.
Yeah, like, bro, we know, everybody knows it's coming. He landed it a few times, but Tommy ate it. I'm like, now you got to change up your game plan because he's eating your right hands.
And I was watching the fight, and I was like, when Jake would throw a jab, he catch Tommy a few times with the jab. I was like, bro, keep throwing a jab, and then catch him with the overhand.
Yeah, combos.
But I was like, and I don't know if his skill set's not there or he was just being cocky and wanted to catch him with the overhand. But I was like, and then Tommy, you can tell he was composed. He had a game plan. He followed the game plan. He was not looking for a knockout. He saw the opportunities, and he would hit him, and if it knocked him out, it knocked him out.
Yeah.
But you could tell that Tommy he had a game plan, and this is it, and we're going to follow it no matter what.
Yeah.
Jake Paul's game plan, I'm going to try and knock him out.
Knock him out, yeah.
That's not it.
I feel like he's more of a, he wants to be a highlight reel.
Yeah.
He wants to knock you out so he can say he knocked you out. Tommy... And I don't know if you saw like his interviews. He said the way I'm going to knock Jake out. He didn't say it's going to be some heavy shot. He said it's going to be because of a combination of shots to Jake's head, and he's going to see flashes every time, and he's not used to getting combination of shots in his face. So eventually he's going to win, and then I'm going to hit him with a good one, and he's going to knock out.
Yeah.
Jake's like, I'm going to knock him out by, like, he even got asked, how do you think this fight's going to end, or how do you think the knockout's going to happen if you knock him out? Jake was like, well, I hope it's a hook.
Yeah.
But it's probably going to be my right hand.
Yeah.
So that's all, like the whole time, that's all I saw. Is him loading it up, trying to fire it. Tommy ate it. Respected Tommy because I didn't even think he had a chin. Like the whole fight, my heart was racing, bro, because I knew at any second Jake could throw it. And
and that's what
Tommy would.
Jake has, and we'll give him that. Like we seen him
like McGregor.
Yeah, we seen him in danger against Tyron Woodley. I remember that. And then all of a sudden, just boom, got caught, and he caught Tyrone, and he just fell flat in the fucking canvas.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing with this. It's just like I was watching the fight with my girl, and I was like telling her, I was like, he can get caught, and Tommy got caught one or two, 3 times, and I was like, he fucking ate that shit.
Except for that time he fell down, which I think was more of a slip.
It was a slip
than anything.
Yeah,
because that wasn't it was a good jab, but it wasn't like
he got caught off balance.
Yeah, like you saw when they replayed it, his foot just slipped out from underneath, which is his fault, but it wasn't a real knockdown.
And then we'll talk about the ref, because the ref counted as a knockdown because he gave him a count.
Yeah. And he kept counting like to 8.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, he stood literally right back up.
And the ref, we'll talk about the ref a little bit. Complain about the ref. He deducted points from Jake Paul, from Tommy. I can't remember the last. I don't think I've ever seen a boxing fight where both fighters like that. Not to say it doesn't happen, but these guys are like
amateur.
Early,
yeah, they're
early
not,
pro.
Yeah, they're
level.
pros, but they're
Early.
like the commentators were saying, this is not a
competitive pro,
a high level
yeah.
boxing match. Like the ref was doing too much.
Yeah, this is, and maybe the ref's like, I ref pro fights. I don't know. I don't know how his ref in history is, but I guess like what is it called? Hear the room, view the room. Know the room. Yeah, or whatever it's called. But yeah, you got Tommy and Jake Paul.
Read the room.
Yeah, read the room. Like it's too early. They're in the beginning stage of their pro careers, and they're gonna they don't know. Not that they don't know, but it's not like fucking Canelo.
Their boxing IQ isn't.
Yeah, they're still learning and developing. Yeah. But that was just a little mention of the ref.
I do understand. I've kind of understood the point deduction from Jake. I didn't agree with it.
Yeah, because
you can't punch somebody in the back of the head. That you just can't. But the one on Tommy for clinching too much.
Yeah,
was like, I was like, bro. Now I don't know what he's doing or why he's doing that, because they were both clinching.
Kind of felt like he was just trying to cancel the other
one because he was like, oh damn, I might have fucked up. Like, I don't want to be the one.
Or maybe they told him like, hey, you gotta
something. But that was just the ref was doing too much for sure.
But kind of concluding to the end here of the fight itself, I think Jake Paul, if he at the end of his post fight, he sounded like he doesn't take this too serious, like the fighting stuff, the boxing, because he says, I already won in life, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, bro, like you're just doing this for fun or for the bag or for maybe, for 5 years and you're done.
Yeah. I don't see him being a boxer in the long run.
No, neither do I. And I don't think after that fight, I don't think he does either.
Yeah, I mean, I think they'll definitely fight again. I think he'll fight 5 more fights.
I think they run it back though.
They'll run it back because, I mean, he has to, right? He's gonna try to prove himself. But he got humbled for sure, and I'm excited to see how it changes him.
Like I said in the post fight interview, you could tell he brought up like that he was sick and I don't know if it was his ribs or his hand.
He said he had an arm injury.
Yeah, and it's just like I don't know, like you can just tell that he's not in it like for the sport of the boxing and for like really love the sport. I don't know, Jake Paul, I could be wrong, but you know, you see kind of these things and you kind of notice like, oh, he doesn't have it in him, right?
Yeah.
You seen Tommy Furry, he's like kind of in tears, you know?
No, he was like, bro, like he's like that's why I was like, man, he's just like a little kid who was getting bullied, who beat his bully.
And it meant a lot to him that he won. And I was a little like, why is he being so dramatic? And I finally tried to think about it and put myself in his position. And I was like, well, fuck, if I'm trying to become a professional boxer and I finally overcome this hurdle that this like Jake fucking Paul is annoying an AF just on the internet, social media, while I'm trying to focus on becoming a pro boxer long term, and I finally accomplished that, and then on top of that, the pressure of the name, and it kind of just gives him confidence that like maybe he is in the right spot, you know, as a boxer.
Did you hear him? I mean, you got to think, bro. His brother is, in my opinion, top 5 boxers of all time, and I think he'll end up being the best of all time. In my opinion, that's just my opinion.
Yeah, he's gonna be the best. He's the best in his weight class. Well, we got to see till he fights Usyk.
Yeah, I think he'll be the best heavyweight of all time when it's said and done. But anyways, you got to think like living in that shadow, and that's why he said he was in tears the whole time. He said, "Today I made my own name. Like I made my own. I am Tommy Furry." That's what he said. I am Tommy Furry. Today I made my own name, or something along the lines of that. And I was like, dude, I fucking love that for him, because I cannot imagine how it feels to be in the shadow of someone like Tyson Fury, like where he is just fucking so great and can beat anybody in the world, and then you have Tommy Fury who
just
fights no names or people losing records, but I think he's got a bright future, man. I really like Tommy Fury a lot.
Yeah,
I think Jake brought the bat out in him. I don't think he's that cocky.
Yeah,
I don't think he's that arrogant. I think he had to be to match the energy. But I like Jake Paul, but I'm really glad Tommy won that fight.
Yeah, and I mean, you mentioned to me that you wanted you like Jake Paul, but you wanted Tommy to win. And for me, I just wanted to see a good fight. And like I said, to me, it's just like Jake Paul, he's not in it for the long game. Tommy Fury clearly wants to become a professional boxer. No, he's so dedicated. You can just see it. So I was just happy to see that, and I think when they run it back, I feel like Tommy would just knock his ass out.
I think it's worse if they run it back. I think it's a lot worse for Jake if they run it back, because
but we'll kind of move on to a different sport, UFC. So I posted a clip yesterday. Whenever this podcast comes out, I don't know, it'll be a few more days that I posted the clip, but I kind of talked about how Ciryl is, I guess you could say that better than Khabib or Islam, but the biggest thing that I was saying is that Islam and Khabib are not as good as people make them seem to be.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, I agree.
And I got a lot of hate because I was the one talking.
Yeah.
So people were saying like, did you not watch a Ciryl fight? Khabib, blah, blah. And just a lot. Like, people shitting on me for, I'm a casual. I just started watching the UFC. Shit like that, right? So, again, it's my fucking opinion at the end of the day. And I understand that Ciryl got fucking, like, destroyed that fight. And I didn't ignore that or deny that. You know, my biggest thing is, like, if they run it back, it'd be a lot closer fight. And the reason why I say that is because, like, Ciryl resume, and then on top of that, Islam, he got exposed against Volk, you know?
Yeah.
So you can kind of see, anyone who's going to fight Islam next is going to watch that fight. Film. They're going to study it. So they're going to, how to defend the takedowns, blah, blah, shit like that, right? That was one of my reasons too. And the reason also too why I said Khabib's not, like, to call him the GOAT.
Definitely not.
I think it's just a little far-fetched. Yeah. I used to think, Khabib's great. But the truth is, Conor was a really, really good fighter and entertainer. But his resume,
yeah.
He fought a lot of good people, right?
Yeah.
But for him to be like, it's hard for Conor McGregor to be top 5 in the UFC in all weight classes.
Yeah,
in all weight classes, in like history, right? We're talking about like ever. So that's why I'm like, okay, Khabib beat Conor. He struggled with Conor, even though he kind of like ended him pretty like, what does it say? Like he kind of dominated Conor, right?
Yeah,
but
yeah.
If you watch that fight again, you can see Khabib get tired, and you can see Khabib struggle a little bit towards the end of the fight. And then, but I mean, and I want to pull this. I want to mention this, because this is how I see it, and this is why I think this. Where's my fucking? I'm gonna pull up, these their history in the UFC. So this is Khabib. Khabib's last fight was against Justin Gaethje. Then he beat Dustin Poirier. Then he beat Conor. And then after that, this is where I'm like, after those names, I don't think he fought any real fighters. And I know people were talking about these guys. People were talking about Edson Barbosa.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I don't know who he is, but I'm sure he's a fucking dog. But again, I bet if we look at Edson Barbosa and who he fought and who he is in the UFC, maybe he's a dog, maybe he's, I don't know, right?
I've never heard of him, so it can't be that fucking great.
And I'm not a casual, like I'm a pretty big UFC fan and just a fighting fan in general too. And then after that, and that was in 2017. And then, let me just say this: he fought Conor in 2018. Then he fought
that long ago.
Mm-hmm.
God dang.
Then he fought Al Laguinta 2018. He fought Edson Barbosa in 2017. He fought Michael Johnson in 2016. Then he fought Daryl Horcher in 2016. Rafael Dos Anjos in 2014. Pat Haley 2013. But my fucking point is, it's a lot of names that I'm pretty sure these guys are really good, but are they like top dogs in their division?
Yeah, they're not like Poirier. They're not like Ferguson. They're not like
Gaethje.
They're not.
Well, he did fight Gaethje and Poirier. I'm not going to say that he didn't, because he did, and he submitted both of them, or all of them, really, right?
Yeah.
So then we'll go to Islam. What is Islam real quick? Islam
is
supposedly beat Alexander Volkanovski. That's like allegedly, right?
That's, yeah.
He manhandled Charles Oliveira. Go give him that. He beat Bobby Green. Bobby Green was pretty good, but the reality
I didn't
is,
know he beat Bobby Green.
But Bobby Green also has never, in my opinion, beat any big names either.
Yeah.
He beat Dan Hooker. Dan Hooker is a really good fighter.
Yeah.
But top dogs, they're not.
Well, Dan Hooker's on a decline though.
Yeah.
Michael Chandler beat Dan.
And that was in 2021. Okay. I mean 2021. Then this is where it gets a little shady. He fought Thiago Moises 2021, Drew Dober 2021. I've heard his name before.
Yeah, I've heard his name.
Davi Ramos 2019, Armin Sakurian 2019, Kahan Johnson 2018, Tubo 2018, Lance 2017, Chris Wade 2016, and then he lost to Adrian Martins in 2015, and then Leo Kuntz in 2015. All right. Again, my point is, no fucking killers besides Charles Oliveira and Volk, in my opinion. I could be wrong. I'm not a fucking casual. And now look at this fucking resume. Charles lost to Islam. Manhandled. Cool. Charles Oliveira manhandled Justin Gaethje. Sub. Rear naked choke. Charles Oliveira manhandled. I don't like Dustin Poirier.
Poirier was a man. I think he manhandled him.
I'm a little biased because I like Poirier.
I like Poirier, but I think he manhandled him.
Rear naked choke. Charles Oliveira, Michael Chandler. KO, TKO.
That was a good fight.
Chandler, and this is right, big name. And that was in 2021. Charles Oliveira against Tony Ferguson. Decision, it looks like. Charles Oliveira versus Kevin Lee. Sub. Charles Oliveira versus Jerry Gordon, who allegedly beat Paddy Pimblett in 2019.
Jerry Gordon's good, yeah.
So that was a KO, TKO. And then this is where, maybe no names, whatever. Charles Oliveira fought Nikki Lentz, TKO. David Toomer, sub. Charles Oliveira, Jim Miller, sub. He won against Christos Giagos in 2018. Sub. And I'm not even going to go with it. Sub, KO, sub. And then that's when he started losing. But he has been on a winning streak for a long, long, long time, bro. And And to beat those names, like the way he did it, and in the time span he did it, like he did it in like
it was like back to back.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. I was like, when have you seen Khabib and Islam fight killers back to back to back?
Yeah,
like just like that, you know?
Because you have to like it takes time to
recover from those fights,
and then prepare for a whole nother killer, like Justin Gaethje, Poirier, bro. I would never like Michael Chandler, Dustin Poirier, Chandler,
and the only one who did that was Khabib. He fought Conor, Dustin, and Gaethje, which back to back, that is a pretty impressive.
Yeah, but I think he caught Poirier before Poirier peaked.
Yes,
I think Conor
that was the beginning of his peak.
Yeah, I think Conor caught the peak.
Yeah.
Of Poirier.
Yeah.
And then now he's on his decline, which is he's still good, but I think he's on his decline now. But Khabib got him before he really peaked.
Yeah.
So not to say anything bad about Khabib, other than he's overrated, but.
And like I said, if Khabib was to fight someone like Charles, I think it'd be a good fight. If Khabib was to fight, who else is it? I mean, even like Volk, which would be a crazy fight.
I think Volk would fuck Khabib and Islam. I think he did fuck Islam up, but I think he would fuck Khabib up too.
Yeah. And it's just like, when I posted this video, I didn't think it was going to get that much hate.
Yeah.
And I understand. And it's funny because these people call me casuals. And I'm like, bro, you're going off one fight that, yes, Charles got destroyed against Islam. But I'm like, bro, they need Charles is going to be Don Rouge, however you pronounce his name. I believe they fight in May.
Daryl, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, they're going to fight in May.
That's going to be a good fight.
It's going to be a really good fight. But I think Charles wins, and then I think he's top contender to fight Islam again.
If he beats him, he's right back in the title.
Yeah, and he has to fight Islam, or it's going to be Volk, depending how they want to go ahead and do that. But I think
Islam's scared.
I think Islam's scared to fight big names now. But that's what happens when you become the champion. Mm-hmm. And the only motherfucker to do it was Khabib and Charles. Because even when Conor was like the champion, who did he defend his belt against? I don't remember. I really don't. Because he beat Aldo, he got the title, and then he beat Eddie Alvarez, got the title. And I believe that he got stripped from both of them because he didn't fight.
Yeah.
So
I don't know for sure, but
I don't know. I don't think he ever defended his title, bro. To be honest, because when he fought Nate both times, he was not a champion.
Right. And
and not to take anything from Conor.
Poirier, he wasn't a champion. Khabib, they weren't interim.
Khabib was champion.
That's right.
So I don't think Conor ever defended his title. And like that to me. That's a champion. You defend your fucking crown.
I gotta fucking look at it.
And that's what I think a champion is. I mean, like I was saying, Conor never defended his title, and you can kind of say you looked it up.
Yeah. So yeah, he basically never defended his lightweight or featherweight titles. He basically gave them back. Mm-hmm. He was gonna defend one of them against Rafael dos Anjos, but he fell out of the fight. So Nate Diaz picked up. So Conor was more worried about avenging his loss to Nate Diaz.
I see.
Than defending his title, which for a pride standpoint, I understand. So he eventually just gave the titles back.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm double champ. He did what he needed to do.
Yeah.
He got 2 belts, the first in history to be a double champ. But yeah, he didn't defend them, which is definitely a strike on his fucking resume. But
And that's when we talk about GOATs and like the greatest of all times, that to me is like I want to know what this guy did again when he was being hunted, when he had to face adversity, because coming up you're hungry. You're hungry as fuck. You want to eat, you want to be the champ. But what are you going to do when you achieve that? Like you're a little kid, you're training and you finally got what you wanted. What are you going to do when that happens? And the story of Charles Oliveira in the UFC is one to me.
I love his fucking
I just,
Cinderella story, bro.
And then Khabib, same story to me.
I don't really know his story, but
I just wish he was a little bit I wish he was in the UFC a little bit longer and defended his title against all the killers.
Tony Ferguson, bro. That's one of the Khabib and Tony Ferguson was one of the most wanted fights ever.
And that was in Tony's peak.
Yeah, like. Tony might have pieced him up, and I think Khabib,
Tony and Conor should have happened too.
Yeah, never definitely. Happened. Yeah, but now Tony's like at the bottom of the hill.
Yeah,
like he's not. He's done.
Yeah,
but That's one thing I like about Charles is he doesn't give a fuck who he fights.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's like, I want the best. I feel like Khabib, even Conor. I feel like
and Islam.
really anybody. Islam, they don't want the best because they want to, cement their legacy or their record or
be undefeated.
Yeah,
like
but like Charles is one of the few, and Volk is another one of those ones. They don't care about your name because they have so much confidence in themselves,
and they want to actually show the world that they are the best.
They are the best. Yeah, like Charles is like case in point.
Yeah,
he will fight. I firmly believe he will fight anybody,
and that's why I say to me, he can give Khabib a good run for his money if that was to ever happen. Like I said, I think he beats Islam in another fight. Now, if Islam does the same thing, okay, Islam's better than Charles. But I got to see that fight again. Like, I have to, and I hope he get that. But
I don't know if we ever will, man. Not while they're in their peaks, because Charles is in his peak right now. I think Islam is.
He has to be in his peak.
He has to be at his peak,
or peaking.
He's right there. But I don't think we'll see it when they're both at this level because, Islam's got some unfinished work with Volk because everybody's saying he didn't really win.
Yeah.
And then he's got, I don't know, maybe Charles comes back up. I hope he wins against Dariush or whatever.
Yeah.
But
that's
Dariush
why,
is fucking good.
Yeah, he's really good. And he's one of those guys that have been in the UFC for a while too. But like that's my reply to the haters is just like, bro, I'm not a fucking casual and I'm not riding Charles's dig. I'm not being biased. Because I watch fights and I have my favorites. Charles was never one of my favorites, bro.
Yeah.
And I say that in a super nice way. I thought Dustin was going to win. I thought Justin was going to win. Gaethje. And I almost thought that Chandler had a really good chance too. But he showed us against Chandler, against Poirier, and then Gaethje that he's that fucking guy.
Yeah. Because we watched. I don't know. I know we watched the Poirier fight together. I don't know about I know we didn't watch the Chandler fight together. I don't know about the Gaethje, but when
we saw him fight Islam, we had a lot of high expectations, and to me, that wasn't the Charles that we were used to. So that's why I'm like, bro, they have to run that shit back.
But
that was my biggest point, and that's why I'm like, bro, we got to look at these. We got to look at their history and also to their title defenses, and they kind of leads to arguably the GOAT or currently one of the best.
I don't think it's even arguably. I think he is.
Yeah, because when you look at his history, we're talking about John Bones Jones.
The man.
I watched a lot of his fights 2 weeks ago. UFC started putting his free fights out there. Bro, he became champion when he was 22 years old. The youngest ever.
And he has so many title defenses.
It's insane.
Like, it's unreal how many title defenses he has.
So let's see. I want to say he won his first one in 11, and then after that, they're all title fights. I don't know if they're defenses or not. He had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 title fights in a row. I think 15.
Yeah, and those all should be defenses because he never moved up or down.
And he won every single one. But the one contest. That he
do an illegal elbow, I think.
No, it's not even. Oh, that one was before, but that wasn't even a title fight.
Oh,
but the one with Cormier, that was a
no contest.
No contest. Yeah.
Really?
Because he tested positive after the fight.
Right.
For cocaine, I think.
No.
Yeah. And the second one he tested positive. Yeah.
I don't think it was cocaine.
Yeah, the first fight.
Cocaine gets out of your system pretty quick.
But I know the first one was drugs. The second one was for PEDs.
Mm-hmm.
And but 14 title fights in a row.
That's more than I think definitely anybody. Yeah, more than anybody.
I gotta look at, I don't know, we're not gonna do that now, but like Anderson Silva and George St. Pierre, I gotta see their title runs, but I think Anderson Silva was the only one that he had or has the most title defenses or
I'm pretty sure Jones is at the most
title. I think so too.
I think.
Let's see. Now we gotta look this shit up.
Yeah. But Anderson Silva and John Jones are my top two ever.
Yeah.
John Jones edging Anderson Silva, obviously, and actually John Jones' list is the exact same.
Or 13 title defenses
for Anderson.
Oh, let's see. It probably since then he never lost title match. Defeated 13 times. So yeah, it looks like who has the most title defenses in the UFC? George St. Pierre has 9. Anderson Silva has 10. John Jones has 11. Demetrius Johnson has 11. Oh, 6 more rows. Hold on, what the fuck? Yeah, so John Jones apparently has 11. That's weird.
So he's tied for first?
But it says 13 title defenses right here. Fuck. God damn. Who has the most title defenses in the UFC?
I'm pretty sure it's John Jones, dude. But
yeah, it's John Jones, Demetrius Johnson, Anderson Silva. So John Jones has 13. Demetrius Johnson has 11. Anderson Silva has 10. George St. Pierre has 9. And then Jose Aldo has 7. So, yeah, the most title defenses is 13, bro. And then 14 title fights in a row, or 15.
Yeah, he's definitely different. I've never watched him fight live. I'm not even gonna lie. Because when was the last time he fought? It's been like 5 years, 6 years.
He fought Dominic Cruz, I think, last, which I actually watched that fight and I thought he lost.
I think it was yeah. I know what you're talking about. Actually, I didn't watch it live, but I've watched the fight.
That's where people were like, he low key lost, and I gotta watch that fight again. But it was a really good fight.
I think he's actually lost a couple fights that I've seen. I think he's actually maybe questionably lost a couple.
So I think Gustafson.
That's the one, Gustafsson.
That was a fucking brawl, and I think
I did watch that fight. Fight live. Yeah, I did watch that fight.
But yeah, I think Gustafsson. I can't say
Gustafsson.
I think he won that fight.
Yeah, that's the only live fight I've ever seen. John Jones. No, yeah, that's the only fight I've ever seen.
And but it kind of sucks because I can't say his name.
Just say Alexander G.
Alexander G.
I think his first name is Alexander.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
He after that, I don't think
he fell off.
Yeah, he kind of just fell off.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, John Jones is fighting this weekend.
Ciryl
Gane. And I'm a little upset because he should have been fighting
Francis
Ngannou.
I think Ciryl is a better. I think it'll be a better fight.
Yeah, like stylistically, yeah. Because
whoa, did we just?
Yeah, we did. Sync.
Okay.
Francis Ngannou, he's just gonna stand there and eat punches and punch you
and look for the heavy hand.
Yeah,
look for a heavy. Yeah.
And Ciryl Gane is more
technical,
athletic.
Fighter. Yeah,
you know, in my opinion. And John Jones is a fucking athletic beast. So I think the fight goes to like 4 or 5 rounds. To be honest, I don't think it ends like in the first 3.
How do you think it ends though?
I think John Jones catches him in like some submission.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I think John Jones submits him.
Yeah, that's how I think it
Ciryl
ends.
Gane cannot wrestle.
Yeah, at all. So, but we got to see how good his defense is for the takedowns. But bro, John Jones, like I said, I watched like 4 of his fights like that one week, and bro, he will take anybody to the fucking ground.
No, yeah,
anybody.
That's what sets him apart. Like his stand-up game is good.
Yeah,
but his grappling wrestling game is like.
It's like whoa.
Unheard of, bro. Like, otherworldly.
And he's so impressive, bro, and he's so fucking crazy. But I really hope we see a good, healthy John Jones, because I'm also scared. I was like, what if he fell off already? What if his prime? Well, his prime definitely, I think, passed. But what if we don't get to see those glimpses of prime John Jones? Like, what if we see a different fighter?
I think we will. I think I think right now he's going to be at his peak.
Really?
To be honest, because he's off the drugs. He's been training for 5 years, 3 years, however long since he's last fought. I think this is going to be his peak performance. Like, in my opinion, if he's truly off the drugs. Because I know he was a little cokehead. Yeah. And all that.
Party, drink a lot.
He didn't take it serious. Or he did take it serious, but.
Did you hear that clip in Joe Rogan where he said he would party like the last 2 weeks? I don't know if it was the last 2 weekends or the last 2 weeks. But he's like, I would just party. Yeah. Right before fights.
He's naturally gifted, bro. Yeah. Like, you don't have. Sometimes when you're just
good
at anything, you don't have to train as hard as the next guy because you're just naturally
just amazingly good.
That fucking guy.
Yeah. Like, and that's why I just looked up his age. He's 35 years old. Most men and most fighters, we see them perform their best from ages from like 32 to like 36.
Yeah, that's why. Well, I didn't know that, but I think he's honestly at his peak. He's gonna be at his peak right now.
It would be crazy to see like another run of John Jones, bro.
Yeah, he would probably become the next Conor.
Like, can you imagine him another like 2-3 years we see like 5 more fights of John Jones, like being John Jones, but at a different level.
And he's moving up to heavyweight. Yeah. Heavyweight John Jones, bro.
Can you imagine? That'd be crazy.
I want to see him fight Stipe.
The rumor is that he's the backup, and then the rumor is that if he wins, he'll fight Stipe.
Yeah, Stipe, I think, is the best heavyweight. I think he's better than Francis. Yeah. I thought he's better than Francis. I think Francis just
knocked the fuck out by Francis.
I know, and I'm saying I think he's the better fighter. Yeah, but Francis has that knockout power. I didn't think Francis was that great.
I still don't.
If I'm being completely honest,
he just got that power.
He's look at the guy. He's just fucking huge. He's like Jake, not like obviously different, but they're one-trick ponies. They have heavy hands, but they're not great fighters. They're
just like Alex Pereira.
Yeah,
exactly the same way.
Ciryl Adesanya is way superior,
but he got caught.
That's
what happens when you get caught.
And that's if you have heavy hands, bro. I mean, it only takes one punch.
Mm-hmm. But I think that fight is going to be a really good fight, and I really hope you get to see the best of Ciryl Gane because he's also like trying to make a name for himself.
Yeah, he got beat by Francis, didn't he?
Yeah.
And who else did he lose to? Oh, okay.
Because I know he bought what's his name? The guy who would drink the beer in the shoe.
Derek Lewis. Oh no, Tua.
Tua.
Tua Tagovailoa. Yeah.
He TKO'd him,
which is impressive.
Really impressive.
That guy's got a heavy chin.
And
he drinks beer out of a shoe, bro. That's pretty
so he's pretty crazy.
Yeah, and he spits in it.
Oh, that's crazy.
Did you see that?
And other people spit on it too.
Yeah, other people spit in his shoe, and I'm like, ooh.
So, but Ciryl Gane, like I said, he's also too like trying to. I think it's just 2 guys who are trying to make a statement. So
yeah,
I really hope we see a good fight, and
it'll be good.
And I really hope we get to see John Jones, like just a John Jones 2.0 type shit.
I'm excited, bro, because like I said, the only fight I've ever watched him live is I didn't think I had any, but after you said Gustafsson. Mm-hmm. That's the only fight I've ever seen him live, but I don't really remember it.
Really?
So I'm excited to watch him.
I think the only one I got to see was against Dominic Cruz.
Okay.
I heard a lot about
the last one was Gustafsson, right? That was the last fight he had? Or was it Cruz?
No, it was Dominic Cruz.
For real?
Yeah. Gustafsson was like in 2016 or 15, bro.
I wonder why that's the fight that I seen then.
I don't know. Maybe you were at someone's house and they were watching the fight.
I don't know, yeah.
Yeah, but that's UFC 285. Again, I don't want to sit here and talk about these other fights because we just don't know.
I don't even know them, yeah.
Yeah, but good luck to all those fighters, and I just hope we see a good UFC 285 event.
It'll be good.
So, let's talk about
We're going to change gears completely.
Change gears. We're going to talk about Antarctica. We've been wanting to talk about this because we have a video that we posted like over a year ago. That's
that
still,
long, huh?
Yeah, it's still getting views, bro.
For real?
And also too, like if you search up the False Nine podcast, it's one of the first clips that show up.
The Antarctica.
So,
yeah.
Fuck, I gotta burp so much. It's just coffee, bro.
Yeah, you always burping.
That's because I'm sitting down.
Oh.
So we'll start off by kind of starting off with the conspiracy of Antarctica on how like no one can explore there, no one can go there. You'll get sent back if you try and explore there.
Yeah, it's a conspiracy again.
Yeah. So, and then this is a conspiracy about the United Nations flag.
Logo. Yeah.
Obviously, it's Earth in a flat way, and then you have what do you call those things at the end?
It's like little feathers? It's like little leaves.
Oh, leaves. I say leaves, feathers.
Well, it does kind of look more like a feather, but yeah.
Yeah. So, and I'll put it on the clip. Like, the United Nations logo or flag, whatever. Those leaves represent Antarctica, and Antarctica in the way of the tall icebergs.
A wall of ice.
The wall of ice. Yeah, there we go. The walls of ice. And when you go in, there's Earth, right? And I want to mention that to what we get into later. But that's just kind of that conspiracy. And we'll kind of talk about how do you say that word again?
The Pinkerton map of 1813.
Yeah, so this is just stuff that we saw and that we find really interesting, right? Yeah, we're not experts or nothing, but we saw the Pinkerton map of 1813. And, I'll post a little picture of it on what it is. It did not have Antarctica on that map.
It had a hole of where was supposed to be on the map.
Oh, it was just a hole.
It was just not like an actual hole, but you know, just like an empty.
Oh, like just blank,
empty space where Antarctica is supposed to be. Yeah.
And then this guy on this clip, he was saying that, what is that? How do you say that word?
Orientius Phineas map.
Orientius Phineas map. It had, and this was in 1950. So we go back to 1500s. We go back to the 1500s of that map, and it showed Antarctica. Mm-hmm. And it's like, how is
as
this?
a whole ass continent?
Yeah, whole ass. Yeah. I was like, how is a map of 1500s going to have Antarctica, and then a map in the 1813s did not have Antarctica?
Yeah, because the map in 1813 was the most updated geological map at the time.
Yeah.
So that means they looked, and you know, there was no Antarctica.
Yeah. And so what we're getting to is that back to the United Nations logo, that when you cross these walls of ice, you see a Earth or a world or a lost home for civilization. Mm-hmm. And that's where it kind of gets like, you know, tinfoil hat for real. Like,
no, yeah, dead ass.
Was it aliens? Is it people? Is it water people? And
like water Aquaman and shit.
Yeah. Or like the guy from Black Panther 2, the guy with the feathers on his shoe.
Oh, the guy that flies.
Yeah. So, and what's even makes this more interesting, that was the map in the 1500s. And then again, it wasn't there in 1813. But then in 1959, they create that treaty that, and you can explain that treaty.
So the Antarctic Treaty, which was signed on December 1st, 1959, is basically, on our last podcast, I was completely wrong about it because I didn't really do too much research on it. It was more of I was winging it.
Yeah.
But basically the Antarctic Treaty states that no military personnel or military bases or testing of any weapons or anything can happen on Antarctica. Mm-hmm. And it was a treaty signed by multiple countries. I can't remember exactly how many. It's either 7 or 12. I just can't remember exactly how many. But basically, it's just saying that it's peaceful grounds. Yeah. Like, it's like a grounds for nothing. No military bases.
Yeah.
No testing weapons. Just nothing violent at all.
Or not, like, just leave it alone.
Yeah, just leave Antarctica alone. And that's basically.
And the question is, why create a treaty to leave this specific place on Earth? Like, just leave it alone.
Yeah.
Nobody own it. Nobody try to fuck with it. Nobody, just leave it alone. Why do we want these countries? Why do we agreeing to not leave it alone? And again, this is where it gets really interesting, and you can go into, like, you know, put your tinfoil hat on, and we can say that either there was people that lived there. Mm-hmm. Again, there was a lost civilization that was there that could be either extraterrestrials, where my understanding when I was watching these videos and we were looking at stuff is that the city of Atlantis is there, and it's real.
Is Antarctica or under Antarctica?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Antarctica kind of it got buried under Antarctica.
Yeah.
So, and apparently it sounds like that it was aliens that were there. Like, that was their home or a base for them.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what Atlantis was, and then Antarctica just kind of, like, I guess it got too cold or their ice, you know, got taller or whatever. Well,
the video that I saw was so extraterrestrials came to Earth, inhabited Antarctica. The big flood happened because Atlantis was pre-flood.
Yeah,
pre-flood. So everything was good. The flood happened. They got buried, and then Antarctica was flash frozen.
Yeah,
I don't know how that happens or whatever. I'm just saying the video I watched said that they were flash frozen, which means like just frozen in an instant.
And then there's a lot of conspiracies about pyramids in Antarctica. Apparently
on Google Maps, though.
Yeah, like where you can see peaks and stuff like that. And, you know, you can start thinking and like, okay, what other pyramids? There's some in Mexico, there's some in Egypt, and I'm sure there's some more pyramids out there in the world that maybe we don't know about. But okay, you have pyramids in Antarctica, allegedly, but you do have some in Egypt. You don't understand how they were built at all. There's still no real hard concrete evidence how these were built, even the ones in Mexico. And it's like, okay, if the conspiracy is that the aliens were in Antarctica and there's pyramids in Antarctica, you can make the argument where the aliens built the pyramids.
Yeah, for sure.
And you can also, and I mean, we need to learn about these pyramids because
it's an interesting topic.
And in Egypt, how like those pyramids were built, and
with such precision, and
it's just so perfect, and something to do with the sun and all of this stuff, like in the stars. And it's like, well, what if the aliens first, maybe what is it called when like an animal or something gets into the area and they just grow it and they grow a family? Like it just, I don't know. Maybe the aliens just decided to make Antarctica their home, maybe because they can survive in that temperature, or maybe before it wasn't even cold. I don't know.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it even more interesting, that in the past, like way back, we don't know what the Earth looked like, how it was built, and shit like that.
Ago. Yeah.
And what was underwater and what's over water, shit like that. So it's just like, what if these aliens just came to Antarctica and just civilized there, and they grew, and then they went to Egypt, and then they went to Mexico, and then maybe technology started coming out, and maybe maybe Antarctica kind of, froze them and they're gone, Yeah.
But then there's the thing, like, I saw something like, what if they're not gone?
They're still there?
They're surviving under Antarctica, which, I mean, I don't know, man. It's a very interesting topic. I think the Antarctic Treaty definitely supports a lot of the conspiracies around it, because there's not many things that a lot of different countries can agree on.
Yeah,
like two countries agreeing on something is hard enough.
Yeah,
but you got multiple countries agreeing on one thing.
Yeah.
So obviously there's something important about Antarctica that everybody can agree that, hey, it's probably best if we do not fuck with this place.
Like we just leave this place alone.
Yeah, like let's just leave this alone. So that's why I'm like, what if it is like aliens, or at least something that the world as a whole wants to study, or keep hidden, or something.
We're not ready for. I don't know.
It's like, because there's no way multiple countries can sign a fucking treaty
that's a good point, that to get everybody to agree on this one thing.
Because two countries, bro.
It's
two countries can't even agree on shit. But much less like 7 or 8 or however many it is.
And like, you can't just the temperatures in Antarctica, they're really brutal, but you can't go there and just explore. You just can't.
No, because you wouldn't survive.
Even if you could, you still couldn't. Like that you're just not allowed to. And that's one of those things that makes it interesting, is just like, why aren't you allowed to explore Antarctica?
Yeah. Which, I mean, it's cool to think about. You are allowed to, I didn't think you were allowed to go there, but you are allowed to go there. It's just very hard to find a flight that will actually go there, and then nobody really wants to go there because the harsh conditions. But
did you ever see the Mr. Beast video of Antarctica where he went?
I've seen it. I've never watched the video, but I've scrolled.
So and this is besides the video, but one of the things that he mentioned was that getting there and being there was one of the hardest things, and not because like the conditions, but because it was so cold that you can't just fly there at any time. And the way it happened is that they called him, was like, hey, right now is a good time to go do this. And they packed their stuff and they fucking just left to Antarctica. Like that's how, that's one of those things that you can't just show up, because you can't just pull up on a plane and you're good to go. Like,
no, and you have to get approval from the country you live in, and whatever countries that you're going to fly over to get there, you have to get approval from every country.
Really?
Yeah, I read that you have to get approval from every country you're in, that you fly over. All of them have to approve you going, which is, I'm sure you have to have a lot of money to do. So
that's crazy.
I don't know why anybody would really want to take the time to try to go to Antarctica, other than the fact that if they're trying to debunk a conspiracy or prove a conspiracy, whatever. But yeah, it's not easy to get there by any means.
I mean, Mr. Beast did it, which is like not a surprise, because it's Mr. Beast and he's crazy and he's like super determined. But it was interesting for him to talk about like those things about going to Antarctica and those obstacles. Like he was just explaining how hard it was for him to go there. Yeah. Because like, getting like you see those approvals, I didn't know about that. Yeah. But making sure that he can get a plane there and that it can safely land. And same thing with getting picked up, is that like he got told, hey, you need to be at the pickup like at this time, no later than that, because we will leave you.
No, yeah, it's because it's like a dangerous fly zone. Like, it's just a lot of negative or dangerous things that can happen in Antarctica as far as weather and climate. And
I was also reading that the winds are like super crazy.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, but I really hope one day we get to find the truth of Antarctica.
Find the truth about a lot of things, but Antarctica definitely would be nice. But we'll see.
And we got to find out about these pyramids too. Like
that would be dope. I'm actually gonna go on Google Maps and like look at this shit later because I'm just interested in it.
I feel like the pyramids answer a lot of questions about the world.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, if one day it was to ever come out, like whether it was the aliens or maybe who knows, water people or
God dang,
I don't know, bro.
Well, we won't find out in our lifetime, I'm sure. But
God, it would be cool.
That would be dope. Yeah, for sure.
But that's Antarctica. I did want to talk about that. So, there's that. I know we didn't really talk about it too much on the last podcast that we did about Antarctica.
Yeah.
It was just one clip, but I could have sworn we talked about it for a while.
I honestly thought we talked about it for a long time.
It felt like we did too.
But I think it was more tied into the flat earth thing than it was anything. Yeah.
So guys, that's episode 119. I really hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys for watching or listening. If you did, we appreciate that. Make sure to show some love to our channel. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. And I'll see you guys next week. I hope you guys have an amazing week. Stay blessed. Peace. Oh, I thought you were going to say something.
Peace.